Well, just as the Prime Minister was telling business leaders in Brisbane to put a positive spin on the economy, news broke in New South Wales of the great electricity price hike. Ahead of increases in other states, the move has re-intensified the carbon tax debate. Political correspondent Tom Iggulden reports from Canberra.
If the government's carbon tax compensation was supposed to soothe fear over rising electricity costs, it hasn't worked so far on the streets of Sydney.
We're pensioners, so therefore it's going to affect us pretty badly.
Have to go and get a second job.
Really?
Just to pay the gas and the electricity.
Electricity prices in New South Wales are set to jump by 18%.
Exactly what the government said it would be.
The cost to the average household is an extra $3.30 a week.
That's covered by an average of $10.10 per week across households in New South Wales, provided by the federal government assistance.
The carbon tax accounts for half the jump, or as the Climate Change Minister optimistically put it,
at least half of this rise in New South Wales announced today has nothing to do with a carbon price.
If the Prime Minister wanted to ease the squeeze on Australian families by abolishing the carbon tax, she could halve the price rise.
Other Liberals say price rises in New South Wales are just the beginning.
From July the 1st, because of the carbon tax, South Australia will have the highest electricity prices in the world.
But the government's maintaining confidence in its compensation package.
Tony Abbott's run around trying to terrify everyone in a gutless performance, but now, of course, we're seeing that he's misled people, deceived people.
With the carbon tax starting in just over a fortnight, the government's ramping up its effort to talk the economy up, including today's economic forum in Brisbane.
A PR stunt from a government which is desperate to try to buy its way back into political contention.
Stunt or not, the centrepiece of today's event was an address from the Reserve Bank Governor, who's continuing to urge optimism in the economy.
While I'm very conscious that a number of sectors are really struggling with the exchange rate where it is, we shouldn't wish too quickly for a low exchange rate. As consumers, the exchange rate is one of the devices that is imparting to us the higher wealth that the mining boom brings.
It was a speech reminiscent of one he made just a few days ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, our glass is well and truly half full, at least half full.
And that was a theme the government was only too happy to ram home at its forum today.
We've certainly heard about the need to bolster confidence and to recognise that our glass is more than half full.
The glass is more than half full, and you are the Mal Meninga of central bankers.
There's some magic in the room when you bring people together from varying perspectives.
There was one undertaking from the Prime Minister to the assembled business leaders to revisit the government's failed plans to push through a company tax cut.
From today, I want to see achieving this company tax rate reduction as the absolute top priority of the Business Tax Working Group.
But it's a priority with a proviso. The Prime Minister says first her working group has to figure out which other taxes to put up so the company tax can be brought down. Tom Iggulden, Lateline.